Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 34 of my story. So, besides work, there's obviously not a lot of dull moments in the household. You know, basically, I had received a call one day through Facebook, and the person was calling me. It was a fake profile. It didn't have a picture, it didn't have anything on it. So, basically, this person had just made this up just to reach out to me. And so I end up hitting ignore, ignore, ignore as the number just kept calling my phone and calling my phone and calling my phone. So they sent me a message and said, "Could you please pick up? I need to tell you something." So I went ahead on and I picked it up. The person didn't have their camera on, but they were pretty much telling me, your husband is a big time whore. He slept with mostly all the strippers in Houston. You shouldn't trust him. He's trash and all this type of stuff. So I was like, well, who are you? And they was pretty much like, I'm nobody, but I just felt like you should know because it seems like you obviously don't care. And so, yeah, it had been a lot of talk. People on social media talking about our situation and saying, well, people were basically defending me and saying, obviously this lady doesn't care. So that's why he's out here doing all the things that he was doing, which was partially true. I didn't care because he was going to do what he wanted to do anyway. And I just asked him respectfully to leave me out of it. However, he had to once again let drama make it to me. And so I ended up logging into his email because somebody had told me, have you ever logged into his email and looked at his timeline before? So I did have access to his email. So I went ahead on and I logged into his email account and I accessed his Google timeline. And when I accessed his Google timeline, it was multiple addresses that I did not know, had never seen or heard of before, on top of 59 hotels. So in the past 5.5 years, he had been to 59 hotels throughout the city of Houston. And not on one or two times, they were multiple times each hotel room. And so I went ahead on and logged out of it. Never told him one thing because I knew if I had said anything to him that he would realize what I was doing and he would probably put a stop to it by logging himself out. So one morning he wasn't home yet. And I was just walking down the top of the stairs. So we had very high ceilings in the house. And so when I was looking out the picture window, I seen a yellow cab dropping him in front of the house. So I made my way down the stairs and I swung the door open. And when I swung the door open, I asked him, hey, why that yellow cab just dropped you here? And he looked me in my face and said, what are you talking about? My homeboy just dropped me here. Now I'm telling him, are you fucking serious? I literally just seen a yellow cab drop you to this house. And so he's saying, get out of my face. I don't want to hear what you got to say. And I'm like, no, you're going to hear what I got to say. Because all you do is lie. Why would you have to lie about how you got home? You left here in your vehicle, but you come back in the yellow cab. That don't make sense to me. Anyways, me and him gets into a whole argument. And so I'm blocking his way. So once again, here he goes. He want to run from the guys in the street, but he want to put his hands on me. So he takes his hands. So once he pushed me, I felt the need that I needed to defend myself against him. And so I swung off on him. And so when I was swinging on him, he took his fist and he punched me straight in my face, knocking me back. And then he just proceeded to walk past me. So he closed the door and locked himself inside the room. And so I'm banging on the door. I'm going crazy. And so I'm just basically confiding in one of my really good friends that I had at the time. And I'm saying, he came in his house. I confronted him because I saw him getting dropped home by a yellow cab. And I seen this with my own two eyes. And he told me that I did not see it because that was not him, that he had just got dropped home by one of his friends. And I was telling him how it just didn't make sense to me. Well, anyways, when I woke up the next morning, I had a big black eye. And so he had his friends come over, but he had the nerves to look at my eye and say, now, see what you made me do? And he tried to tell me that I need to be inside the room. I don't need to come out. People don't need to be seeing me with a black eye. And not to imagine my kids asking me, Mama, what happened to your eye? Did my daddy do it? This, and that. So I was pissed off. Well, I end up coming out the room. He has everybody over there playing. They're shooting dice on a casino style table. They have drinks they're making and everything. So I come down and I sit in front of everybody with my big black eye. And he turned around and he sees it and he's so upset. He's like, hey, what happened to your eye? Playing it off like he didn't hit me in my eye. And so I'm telling everybody, you know what you did? Because two people in the room was my family members. I was like, you know what you did? You punched me in my eye. And he was like, you need to go back in the room. I didn't hit you. Well, he ended up telling everybody, let's go, because I was trying to start trouble. So he leaves with his friends. He don't come back until way the next day sometime. So when he does come back, he feels the need to confront me about the night before. He's asking me, why would I come out in front of people showing off my black eye like it was something nice to be seen? And so the one person that's hanging with him, his baby mom dies. And so he's at the house all the time now. His son is coming over. I'm trying to help him as much as possible with his son. He's now working a full-time job, and so he's having to drive basically out of town to work every day. So the little boy is coming over to my place. So my friend who I basically consider to be like a family member has been dating this friend. And in the midst of her dating him, she ends up stumbling on his cell phone and going through it. And once she went through it, her heart is broken. And so we already had prior plans that we were going to go out to Dreams this night. So me and my sister, once we showed up at her place, she wasn't ready. So I asked her why she wasn't ready, because we were going out to eat before we go, to the strip club, because we didn't want to go in until like midnight. Well, anyway, she tells me just to come in. She needs to show me something. So I proceed to go to her place, knock on the door. She doesn't come. I turn the doorknob. I walk inside, and she's crying. And so I'm asking her, like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on or whatever. And so she's showing me this phone, and she's like, just look for yourself. And so I'm going through this phone that he left behind because he thought that he had factory reset it. And she was able to get all kind of text messages from it, retrieve photos, everything. So there was one person in this phone that I had known through one of my sisters, that was one of my sister's classmates. And the person I knew was a dude. He was a dude. But now he had transformed himself to, he was a girl. And he looked like a really pretty girl. And so I remember there was a time when she had called me on the phone and she was asking me, hey, could you tell him that this person is a boy and that this is who this is? And so she sent me the picture, and I'm telling him, like, no, that's a dude. That really is a dude. He was like, ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way. So even after we told him that this person was a dude, he proceeded to talk to this person and take this person on a date. So imagine how she felt when she found out that her dude was doing download shit. And so I guess she had been texting him, telling him how she had found out this stuff and she was going to expose him. So he pulls up when I'm going back to get in the car, and he blocks me and my sister in. And so I'm sitting in the car waiting for her, thinking that he's going in to get something. But like 20 minutes passed, she hasn't come out and he didn't come out. So I get out and I go back to the house. Before I could get to the door, all I hear is shouting, screaming, and crashing sounds. I open up the door and walk inside, and they're in a full blown brawl. So automatically I run and I jump on his back and I start trying to choke him, while she basically is fighting him like a dude up in here. And he's like, get the F off of me, get the F off of me, trying to shuffle me off or whatever. And so he's trying to choke her and everything, and she's giving him like the fight of his life. And so she's telling him, you went out with him anyway after we told you that it was a dude. And he was like, I just want to get my shit. I want to get out of here. Now he want to leave because she didn't expose his ass, and she's telling him that she's going to tell everybody. Well, she ends up taking like $5,000 from him. So while I'm in this, so he's running around the house, chasing her around, trying to get $5,000 from her. Which I'm saying, why do you want to take the money from her? Let her have it. And so he's saying she can't have this because he's so mad that she done told him that she about to expose him. And so they start opening up the wall sockets throughout the house, and it's like black wires taped up with $5,000 and $10,000 bundles of cash wrapped and wrapped and wrapped, just coming out the wall like it's some type of a trick. Then he's messing with a punk. And so I'm telling him this. And so he was like, I told that dude. I told him. Them dudes they been bringing in the section was dudes. I seen they Adam's apple. There was not no girls. They ended up breaking up or whatever. And so she ended up coming back to the house with me and stuff, while, she was kind of like just going through it or whatever. But I didn't have any words for that friend. So the only reason why I was really communicating with him at this point was because of the situation that had happened with his baby mom, who I consider to be like a family member. But at that point, I really just did not trust him. Like,